All right, how does an emotionally healthy person respond to the bad thing happening to a good person? How does a God who is all-powerful let bad things happen? It seems to set me, this is as an example of the person asking the question, it seems to set me into fear for my life and fear for my loved ones. I get triggered into my childhood when I feel unsafe and the whole world feels chaotic. How does an emotionally healthy person respond to that feeling? And to that I would say, just like that. That is how an emotionally healthy person responds. When bad things happen, it sets me into fear for my life and fear for my loved one's life. One, you recognize what has now taken place. When you feel out of control, you are recognizing what has taken place, number one. Number two, you are able to articulate why you feel that way because you said right here, I get triggered into my childhood when I felt unsafe and everything felt out of control. That is how an emotionally healthy person responds to bad things happening to good people. If you think that an emotionally healthy person responds to bad things happening to good people by being like, well, I am just so secure in my faith that I feel nothing about this. That's not emotionally healthy spirituality. It's that this did in fact happen. And I do in fact have questions. And I do in fact have disappointment. And I do in fact have anger toward God who could control this, who could have changed this, who could have done something. But if I am told an emotionally healthy person doesn't feel those things, they put them away and ignore them, that's not emotionally healthy. Emotionally healthy is I feel this, I am in this has happened. My faith is shaken. I'm struggling with mystery. I don't have all the answers. And that reminds me of how I felt when I was a child and my life was out of control. And while God may not want to meet you and change that circumstance that's made you feel that way, I promise you that if you're emotionally healthy enough to understand what your trigger is that therein lies an invitation to go to that place and go, I'm not gonna change and fix this circumstance, but I can meet this child. That's the invitation. And so that is how an emotionally healthy person responds to the question of why does bad things happen to good people? Because we don't know and we don't have to know. If you imagine emotional health as stoicism or constant peace, you're imagining a spirituality devoid of reality. Jesus said to us, in this life you will have trouble, and I'm telling you this so that you will have peace. It is not that it just is a skip to peace. It is that we have the words of Jesus that's saying, yes, this is part of what I mentioned. It hurts and there's trouble and you will feel unsafe. But I want you to have something deeper than just everything being perfect. I want you to experience my peace in the midst of it. For us to experience Jesus' peace in the midst of it, we get to have his healing presence at the core of why we are triggered into what we're feeling.